Hey everyone, so today we have a LEGO DC Comics Superheroes Batman Rescue from Ra's al Ghul set. It is set number 76056, it has 257 pieces, and it's aged 6 to 12 years old. This is around a $30 set, and it is in fact a Walmart exclusive set, meaning that you can only buy this set at Walmart and at the LEGO Shop Home online. However, there are reports saying that you could possibly be able to buy this in the LEGO store, but currently is not for sale at the LEGO store, which is kind of surprising, but hopefully it's not something that sticks around for set exclusives for very long. That being said, we get a lot of cool additions to the set. Most notably, we get our very first Ra's al Ghul and Talia al Ghul minifigures, along with the new exclusive Desert Batman, and a new variant on the Damian Wayne Robin. Sort of. We'll go into that. In this set, we get the Bat Buggy, the Lazarus Pit, and a small little temple build with a lot of nice play features. So, let's get started with the minifigures. Taking a look at the minifigures, we have the Desert Batman minifigure, aka the Combat minifigure, as aptly named in the LEGO Batman movie. You can see in the trailer. And so this is not a bad minifigure. This is a pretty well Batman minifigure. It's definitely the first time we've gotten him in this type of color, this tan type color, which definitely fits the desert aspects of the set that he is in. Giving him a rotational view here, you can see that there is a bit of metallic paint going on in this kind of copper type finish, which definitely adds to the minifigure as a whole. As you can see, we have the same cloth-like cape that we have gotten in many of the previous Batman sets. However, he does have the second type of Batman cowl that we're seeing in the original line of the DC Comics Superheroes wave, which is kind of a weird addition, and I don't mean weird as in it looks bad, just strange that they would use this cowl again, considering that almost every Batman, I'm pretty sure all the Batman we've got in since the Justice League wave have been the Type 3 cowl. So not really understanding why they gave us this type of cowl, also to consider the fact that they didn't even give us the original type of head. But this is the one time that the dark tan faced Batman actually works. Get a look underneath the cowl and you can clearly see that it is the head that we've been getting for the past several Batman sets. Looking at him on the other side, you can clearly see he has this angry type look, and lifting up the cape, we can get a little bit more detailed look at the back, which is definitely very armor type plated look, but as the inside looks, it kind of has this type of honeycomb pattern, definitely made to look for breathing like material. Overall, this isn't a terrible Batman, and I am glad that we did get another variation instead of the same Batman that we usually get in most sets, and so I have to say that I actually do like this minifigure. Here we have our very first Ra's al Ghul or Ra's al Ghul LEGO minifigure. Now this minifigure has been teased ever since the first LEGO Batman video game. As we can see, he has this very iconic green cloak, along with a green cape and a green vampire hooded cape. His hairpiece is the original Joker hairpiece in black, but the nice addition is that he has his temples painted white. This is the same hair mold and hair piece that is going to be used for the Doctor Strange minifigure, which I think actually works for both minifigures. Here we can see he has his post-Lazarus Pit look with the green eyes and the healthy face, and here we can see his original face. It's very old looking, not really sure how else to describe it other than he definitely needed a bath in the Lazarus Pit to make him look nice and young and fresh and ready to take on Batman once again. Moving on, we have our first Talia al Ghul minifigure in this sort of red jumpsuit that I am not really familiar seeing her in. Usually it's very basic black type jumpsuit. However, this does give a very unique distinction to her, given that her face is basically just the same Wonder Woman face that we have gotten, and her hairstyle is very similar to many superhero female figure heads in this basic black color. Definitely not the best looking minifigure, but for the most part, it works for what she kind of looks like, just a basic average looking woman. So I guess LEGO nailed it in that aspect. So because she has the basic Wonder Woman face, it's the same. So I have to say this minifigure could have been better, but really, it's not overall the worst minifigure ever made. However, it is not the best either. So let's move on to Damian Wayne. And so here we have our Damian Wayne minifigure. Now this is the second time that we have gotten this figure, Damian Wayne Robin. However, this is a little different than the original one we got in the Joker Steamroller set. So as you can see, he has the short legs, green hands, basic red Robin torso. However, something that is slightly different is this cape. As you can see, it is more of Batman's type cape, where it actually has the pointy ends at the bottom. I totally don't know what those are actually called. Wings? Let's go with those wings. As it has those at the bottom of the cape, very much like the Caped Crusaders. And because Damian Wayne is a short minifigure, this is actually a short cape. So if you were to put it on a regular minifigure, it would not go all the way down to its legs like most capes do. To give you a look at what the original Damian Wayne looked like, there he is. So the printing, all the same for the most part. I believe it looks a little bit darker on the new minifigure. However, the new minifigure also comes with a hooded piece instead of the basic black hair that he got in the last set. And here we can see his alternative scared type of facial expression. And so here we can take a look at all 4 minifigures. There are actually quite a lot of accessories with this set, as we get several golden swords, these scythe type weapons. I'm not exactly sure what those are called. We get a stick for Robin, a beating stick. And we get also some silver katanas. And of course, it wouldn't be a Batman set without some batarangs. Alright, moving on to the builds, the very first one we are going to go over is the new Bat Buggy. As you can see, it has the open cage, it has these 2 really nice slope pieces to kind of create the sort of wing vibe that most Bat vehicles have. It has these floodlights on the edge, and of course some stud shooters in the front. It has some pretty nice big wheels, although you can kind of see kind of a fault to the set. Not really a fault, but just sort of something that you can notice is you can see the Technic pieces behind the wheels. The build doesn't really cover it that well, which is kind of a downside. Another kind of weird feature is that there's nothing to connect these 2 bar pieces. They are completely separate, which is kind of just a strange addition to have, as you could have probably had something to connect the 2 pieces so they all moved as one. However, it doesn't completely destroy the build. It doesn't completely ruin it. Of course, you can get your Batman, sit him in the vehicle, nice and snug there. Either lean him back, forward, add those. So overall, it's not that bad of an addition. It's not that bad of a build. However, it really doesn't add anything to the set overall. It's a nice thing to kind of roll around for kids. As collectors, it really doesn't do much. It doesn't really scream Batman. So I guess if that works for you, works for you. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It doesn't really have that many nice parts or anything. It's basically just another basic Batman vehicle. Yeah, it's just that. It's a basic Batman vehicle. So, obviously, if you don't know how stud shooters work, I guess another kind of interesting thing is that the stud shooter is being trans yellow, that it kind of looks like the headlights, but the headlights shoot out, which, you know what, I'm not gonna lie, that's a very Batman thing to do, to make headlights that shoot out at people. But essentially, you just press the lever here, and kaboom. So overall, it's not a bad build, but definitely doesn't add anything to the set overall. It's basically just a mini Batmobile, and to be honest, I am getting really tired of Batmobiles over and over and over again, and it's not going to stop anytime soon. But enough griping on the Batmobile. Now let's move over to the small desert build. Moving on with the builds, we have this small little Middle Eastern / Egyptian kind of build. And I'm not exactly sure what it's supposed to be other than sort of the inside of a building. Although you can kind of see that it's kind of a weird build to have in general. First of all, the doors are facing inside the building, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Next, you have this small little staircase build, which kind of doesn't really lead to much at the top, other than this nice little play feature where if you push this lever down, the axe goes swinging down in front of the gate. So the idea is you have your minifigure here, and it's essentially just a booby trap. Trying to go like that. Another interesting feature we have is the dungeon door, where you can put a minifigure inside, as the door is only held on by 2 studs, and then by pressing this mechanism here, you can pop open the door as such. And so, along with that, you simply just have the big wrong-facing way doors that open up like basic doors. You have this really nice staircase build, which is always a really great added addition to any set, in my opinion. And overall, it is not too bad of a display piece, especially for a specific location. It definitely works, giving a desert type vibe, and in that aspect, it pretty much works. It's not a bad build, to say the least. However, I definitely think that it could have been improved on just a little bit, preferably if there were just more pieces to it and overall kind of an entire really build to it. This is one of those builds that easily could have been a playset type build. You didn't need the Bat Buggy to contribute to this. It could have simply been a 300 piece, just small little building. I think that would have been a lot better, and in my opinion, I would have liked it a lot more.
He is coming. Cover your butt.
Cover the what?
And so the last build of this set is actually the small Lazarus pit. So as you can see, we have some very nice trans green pieces to kind of show the green Lazarus pit as it is usually depicted in the comics. And we also get this small little lever thing where, as in, you place a minifigure on the end somehow and he goes flying. And as you can see, there's kind of a problem here, as there's really no place to put the minifigure and have him stand very balanced. It's kind of confusing, and to be honest, as far as lever contraptions go, this is not a very good one, considering the fact that there's nowhere to put the minifigure. To be fair, something like that, I guess. I really don't exactly know what the builder was intending, or the designer was intending, adding this type of contraption. As you can see, it's simply just this tile piece connected here, and that's kind of it. There's no extra addition to hold the minifigure in place and actually have him fly out. It's just a bizarre type of play feature, and it doesn't really work. So make that of it what you will. But anyway, I do like the trans lime green pieces. It works for the most part for what it's trying to represent, but again, not really the best thing. So with this set, you actually get 2 instruction booklets, one for the Bat Buggy and one for the desert type build. In the back, you obviously get the play features and an ad for the other Batman sets available. If you notice there were no stickers on my build, that is because I simply don't add stickers to any of my builds unless they are absolutely necessary. But if you'd like, here is the actual sticker sheet. So you get about 6 stickers. There's some very nice Easter eggs on these stickers, some of them anyway. But overall, that's pretty much it for the building instruction guides. So, my overall thoughts of this set, if I'd have to give it a rating, I would have to say 5 out of 10. It's nothing revolutionary. The minifigures are alright. The Ra's al Ghul minifigure is pretty good, as well as the Desert Batman. And I do like the Damian Wayne minifigure, although he is a repeat. I do like his new cape, and the hooded piece works with the figure. The Talia al Ghul figure just kind of fails for me, considering it has a basic hairpiece, a reused face, and the outfit doesn't necessarily scream Talia al Ghul to me. The small desert build is definitely the best part of it, even though it doesn't make a whole lot of sense in logically and logical architecture, and the Bat Buggy is just another Batman build that we really didn't need. The Lazarus Pet is fine, however the play feature for it doesn't really work in the way it's intended to be used. The desert play features, however, are not too bad, however aren't really that necessary either. But I guess if you're a kid, you might get some enjoyment out of the set. For $30, it is kind of overpriced, but if it drops to around $25, then I could see you getting it, considering it has 257 pieces. Pricing it at $30 is a bit high, although you do get some nice base plate features with the desert build, so that's not all too bad. If you would like to buy the set, I'm going to leave the links in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.